Pokemon has had some pretty weird products created throughout history. Recently we talked about rare Pokemon products on the channel, but today we are going to talk about the 20 weirdest Pokemon products ever made. Starting with official Pokemon cologne. Yes, this is actually a thing made by Pokemon, where you had the chance to smell like coughing and muck. Well, not really, but it was intended to help you smell like Pikachu with a citrus aroma. These were produced in 2003 and discontinued very quickly. Apparently smelling like an electric rat is not marketable. But you know what is marketable? Plushies. And what's better than to make every plushie look very little like the original Pokemon it was intended to? These are the Ditto plushies, which would change the Pokemon to have the face of a Ditto. I suppose it's appealing to some, but the large population out there thought they just looked weird. And speaking of looking weird, let's look at Pokemon Lego, or rather the knockoff version of Lego Ionic. When Pokemon created official Ionix Pokemon toys, which just looked wrong. Why is Ash Ketchum built like a Roblox character? We haven't even scratched the surface of the products today, and let's get back into the next with a plush version of a Slowpoke tail. I'm not joking. You could buy this rare valuable material from the Pokemon games. I really don't want to ever meet the Slowpoke that lost these tails, but I do hope they got to see a doctor, as this next product would have certainly helped them. The Pokemon X-ray machines. While yes, not a commercial product, these X-ray machines were designed to help keep kids calm in seeing familiar faces from Pokemon. However, personally, I would not want to see a Pikachu while I am getting blasted with radiation. Pokemon have had some incredibly bizarre crossovers in their history, and none more so than their collaboration with Heinz to create Pokemon-shaped spaghetti hoops. I would rather not eat Pokemon, although the Pokemon Company has certainly leaned into this with the new games. Speaking of eating Pokemon, another weird product the Pokemon Company has made before is the Pokemon branded Kiki Narui. Sorry if I butchered that. When you look at the box, it appears you are eating a rather green Pikachu. I certainly would never want to eat this, but to each their own. In at number 13, we have the official Pokemon cars. Yes, cars, plural. Since 1998, Pokemon has had numerous collaborations with car companies to create the best Pokemon-themed vehicles they can. Their most recent being a collaboration with BMW to create an entirely electric Pikachu car, which was revealed at Gamescom in 2022. While yes, just a concept car, I certainly hope we will see these on the road sometime soon. Next up, we have the Pokemon Pumpkins, which are created for Halloween. They were clever, but still a weird decision from the Pokemon Company. Intending to hold their brand new trick-or-trade cards, the Pokemon Pumpkins certainly were not scary to look at, but might make me think twice about knocking on that person's door. Speaking of scary, let's talk about the sleeping Pokemon plushies, and more importantly, this Gengar plushie, which appears to have a Gengar trying to eat you while you sleep. These are a much more Eastern tradition as opposed to the West, and as such, they are quite hard to come by in the West, making them a bit rarer. Continuing with the theme of scary, let's talk about this Japanese exclusive Drifloon plushie, which seems to depict a Drifloon hot air balloon. Given the weird connotations Drifloon has to, you know, kidnapping children, I certainly would not buy this for any of my kids for fear of them being whisked away. Next at number 9, we have the Pokemon kitchen utensils. I know I spoke about this in my 20 rare Pokemon products you may own video, however, this is still a bizarre thing Pokemon have actually made, and they made quite a lot of these in the past. I'm not entirely sure why they made some of these items, since I don't really want to be pouring salt and pepper out of a hole in Pikachu's head. And at number 8, let's talk about probably the worst idea the Pokemon Company ever had for licensed merchandise. The Pikachu ears and tail dress-up kit. Yes, this was a real thing. Why Nintendo thought making something like this was a good idea is completely beyond me. However, I may just be ruined by the internet. Let's talk about the most cursed Pokemon plushie they ever made. The play-by-play Mew plushie from 1999. Why does it look like that? As I'm sure you can tell, we at the Pokeplanet are huge Mew fans, but this is just terrifying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy this one. Moving away from cursed merchandise, let's come back to a very weird choice Pokemon made that actually was dangerous to consumers. And as I'm sure you are all more than aware, we have the Burger King Pokemon containers that had to be recalled because they were a suffocation hazard. These Pokeballs were only 3 inches in diameter, making them very easy for children to put on their face. And since they connected together, one child unfortunately passed away after suffocating on this toy. Seriously, Pokemon, what were you thinking? Moving away from such an upsetting topic, let's talk about the Squirtle drinking cup. As a Squirtle fan, this traumatizes me a little bit because am I drinking the liquid inside Squirtle, or is he producing water through his head? Either way, this is terrifying. Before we get into our top 3, let's talk about the talking Ash Ketchum figurine. Released in the late 90s, this toy depicted Ash Ketchum and would talk and say voice lines.
Hey, I'm Ash. I train Pokemon. I train Pikachu. Should we have a battle? See ya.
Personally, I would hate to see what would have happened if this toy malfunctioned. Finally, our top 3, and let's start with the Pokemon energy drinks. Yes, this is actually a thing. There is nothing wrong with making energy drinks for Pokemon, but my biggest qualm with them is they taste awful. Who would actually take the time to drink these? Before we hit our final 2, I would like to ask you guys to check you're subscribed, as it really helps me out. Anyway, at number 2, we have the Pikachu Loves Ketchup figurines. Why? Why did they turn these into a promotional line of figurines? I mean, I guess they are kind of cute, but who would actually buy these? toys. And finally, we have got the Pokemon diapers. Yes, these are real, and yes, they are officially licensed. But why? Why would I worry about putting a baby in Pokemon-themed diapers? That is just bizarre. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you join our Discord down below.
See ya.